Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Luis Almagro, Organization of American States.
Hola Luis, Presidente, ¿cómo les va? ¿Cómo están, estimados? Greetings, my friends. I'm honored to be here in my capacity as Secretary General, but more importantly, as a citizen of the Americas, with a great desire to help uplift and empower the peoples of our hemisphere through progressive change. Entrepreneurship is the engine of economic growth, employment, and development if governments create and nourish the ground on which it can thrive. It turns the economic prosperity which entrepreneurship generates can fuel conditions of stability and peaceful development in which democracy flourishes. This is essentially why governments and the private sector must work hand in hand, and sustainable business will not endure in undemocratic conditions where freedoms are denied and crushed. Similarly, democracy will not be sustained without social and economic progress. Dear friends, while I respect that this forum focuses on the business prospect within Latin America and the Caribbean, it would be remiss of me not to state that the catalyst for economic growth relies not only on the trade in goods and services within the region, but equally, if not more important, its export market from the region to other parts of the world. As 2021, Latin America and the Caribbean accounts for 8.37% of the global population and is home approximately 656 million people. For the most part, the region is a relevant market for the world's goods and services. Its import outstrips its exports, revealing the importance of taking advantage of its abundant natural resources to play a greater role in delivering goods and services to the global community, and thereby growing their own economies, expanding employment within the region, and creating greater prosperity for the area's people. In a perverse way, the pandemic proved the interconnectivity of the world by the spread of coronavirus across borders. No one escaped it. Let's use it also in our own advantage, encouraging new forms of business, new forms of entrepreneurship, exploring new possibilities, because our capacities and the capacities of the world can help to create wealth around. The International Finance Corporation, the private sector arm of the World Bank and the Inter-American Development Bank, must step to provide financial programs for the private sector in Latin America and the Caribbean. And the private sector companies must create bankable projects that they can present for funding. The time for recovery and rebuilding is now. The opportunity must be grabbed by the private sector, and governments must give them every support. This ship will not sail unless all hands are on the deck. A core belief for the Organization of American States is that the consolidation of democracy, security, human rights, and economic prosperity go hand in hand. Cooperation in our hemisphere is grounded in this premise. The OES has continued its partnership with all member states to increase competitiveness, promote training and job creation, and stimulate access to credit from financial institutions. We recognize the great value of small business, a contributor to a nation's economic profile. Boosting public-private sector will help to meet the demands of the post-COVID-19 world in fostering a more resilient entrepreneurial environment. As you know as well as I do, effective recovery efforts to bolster economic growth in a world healing from the effects of the pandemic and certainly climate change is crucial. However, to create a viable environment for commerce, we must fight corruption in all its forms. We need to build trust in our institutions and enforce anti-corruption mechanisms and compliance measures to attract foreign direct investment and rebuild the local economy for the betterment of our peoples in the Americas. This can be done, and it must be done. It is my hope that this panel discussion will be an enriching listening experience for all, with highlighted recognition that the foundation for a viable and productive business environment is one that empowers people, both entrepreneurships and consumers alike. Thank you very much, and very nice to see you. Thank you.